all y'all's. How you doing? This is Dr. Greg McLeod, and we're going to do we got a real good uh, coffee hour. I'm going to tell you how I made $1.4 million trading gold. That's right, guys. 1.4 million. And I had my students and we were trading live and it was really powerful. So I'm going to show you how that there is lots of money left in this gold market with and how you can actually trade gold. And in fact, I don't even trade Forex anymore. I trade exclusively gold, as many of you guys have been trading with me in my VIP room. We have been this crushing gold day after day after day, and it's fantastic to be able to have something that moves. And I do it during Asia, which is a really good thing. So we're gonna do coffee hours with me, Dr. Greg, and we're gonna get started in just a moment. I'm going to make sure that you can hear my voice and see my screen, and if you can, I will make sure that we can hear that, get that going, and okay, everything is trying to update view and reading view, and let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you, and let's find out there. Fantastic. Okay. And turn on the AI companion. And I'm going to share my screen. Okay. And share sound and advance. Okay. Okay. Right. Welcome to Elite Traders University, our educational coffee hour with Greg. And so good to be with you here. Okay. And I'll just sort of direct your attention to the risk disclosure on your screen to make sure you understand all risks associated with foreign exchange trading. And now I've been doing this for 30 years. I'm one of the world's largest. I work for one of the world's largest forex broker dealers in the world, and I was a currency analyst, currency strategist, and I've trained thousands of people around the world using my proprietary pip and run trading approach. So. We are into a real treat today because I want to show you how I made $1.4 million trading gold this week. And so they able me to take the day off and kind of like relax uh, in trading because I was able to capitalize on this move. Gold has been moving fantastically over the last, say, several months, and there's some factors involved in that are unique. Like many people got into the Bitcoin thrust, and it went to $128,000, right? But really, the fundamentals behind Bitcoin are they're not really there. It's like people kind of think about Bitcoin as digital gold, but it's really hard to like determine what are the supply and demand fundamentals around it, right? They talk about mining, but it's really some guys in computers pressing some buttons and some lines of code and things like that. People can't really get their mind around it. But what people can do, they can get their mind around physical gold or gold being mined. They know where it comes from. They know it's shiny. They have like I have gold jewelry, gold watches. People have different gold. Some people have gold teeth, right? Until they understand gold, it's physical. And so what we're gonna do is talk about share with you what makes making gold go to the moon, right? And so let me go ahead and we're gonna stop sharing for a little bit here, right? And like, so we have a couple of things that are underpinning gold, which makes it a lot different than maybe, Bitcoin, because we have major countries that really are scared because between when we had the Russia-Ukraine war, we had the United States took the US dollar, and basically held it and froze the assets of Russia. Now, most of the world, majority of the world does their business in US dollars. When they buy oil or do import export trade, and many people, many countries use the dollar as it's a reserve currency of the world. That means they trust our money, the U.S. dollar, more than they trust, more than they trust, say, their own currency because it fluctuates. If you've ever been traveling to Mexico or South America or any, there's currency values that fluctuate, right? And so many people would rather hold on to dollars because the dollar is a stable currency. However, if you hold a bunch of dollars in the US and you're a foreign country and the United States government doesn't like what you're doing, then they can freeze your assets, right? And if any of you have been like you had your Cash App frozen or your PayPal account frozen, it's not good to have your money frozen. In fact, it freaks you out having your money frozen. And so because we have basically the United States has weaponized the US dollar, the many countries like China, like Russia, are actually converting their assets or converting their holdings to gold. Because why? Physical gold is a good, having your assets in gold in your own country is a lot better than having your assets in dollars in a country which may freeze your money, right? And so that is that's the big one of the big drivers with central banks are buying gold. That's the bottom line. Supply and demand, you've got lots of people are buying they're buying they're buying gold and buying it by and just in huge amounts, in large quantities, right? And also the United States is buying gold too because they're trying to bolster up their reserves as well. In fact, the largest reserve holder of gold is actually the United States, right? And then it takes time to mine gold. So you can't like you press a button and start creating gold out of thin air, right? So the next factor we have is about gold is that it's we have people actually it takes time to mine it, to get it out of the ground, to refine it, to make it into bars. And so it takes time for that to come online. So that takes time. So now you're seeing this appreciation of this movement of gold, from the 1900 area, all the way up to, we're seeing gold move into, the four, no, one of my price target in the Gold Rush Blueprint you're going to see is I had $5,000 gold, and that's what it was 1900. And we're at what, 4,300 right now. So we're about $700 away from the target that I had back in 2023. So we can see that. So that is a powerful move sustained by physical supply and demand. In fact, you can go to Costco and you can buy gold at Costco, right? And what people do is they buy gold with a credit card, right? So now they have, and they have, they get points, and so it's really a fundamental driven story with big central banks, big investment houses, central, governments, and because it's physical and it's the oldest money. It's God's money, right? And so so I traded gold, and typically if you're talking about ranges as opposed to like maybe foreign currency or stocks, well, it used to be gold didn't move very much, but now because of those factors I was telling you about, gold just really is moving incredibly strong, right? So so again, we're going to teach you how to use some strategies so you too, at the end of this webinar, you'll be able to exactly know how to, get my strategies, my Gold Rush Blueprint absolutely free if you stay to the end. So before we dive in, I want you to hit the chat and tell me where you're tuning from, and let me know, do you trade gold, right? Yes or no, right? So gold isn't just a metal, it's a market. Gold isn't like stocks or crypto. It has its own rhythm. And right now, gold's daily range, the amount that price moves each day is bigger than we've ever seen in years. For example, in 2025, gold's average daily move was typically 0.5% to 1.5% of the price. And with gold trading around 4,300 to 4,400, that's about $22 to $65 per day, a move, right? Big news, but on big news day, it can swing 2% or $80 in a session, right? $80 in a session. So a dollar per pip, you're looking at a pretty good move, right? So every one of those moves is an opportunity, and when you know how to capture even a portion of that range, you can build profits consistently, right? So the trade that changed everything, let me show you exactly what happened. I identified a high probability setup in gold, and I defined my risk with a real stop loss, and I captured just 25% of the daily range, and which was up now. Now, this wasn't luck, it was a strategy, discipline, and knowing how to read gold's volatility, right? So, okay, so let me go ahead and bring up the actual chart, and you know, we are clicking our Zoom and clicking our. We're going to share our screen here. Yeah, it was we had this basing consolidation, and that the symbol is XAU USD. XAU USD is the symbol for gold. And let's go ahead and go for this right there. Okay. And yeah, we're going to chart over here, and we're going to put it right and right here. Okay. It's taking a little bit to load. You know how this stuff is. And share and towards screen and share. Right. Okay. So this is a daily chart of gold, XAU USD, right? And I'm gonna remove all the drawing, lots of drawings, right? And then we're gonna remove the indicators as well. Right? So you can see that this has been a powerful move on a daily chart. And this goes back to December 2025. Well, 20. This is a daily chart, right? We can go to the weekly chart, go a little bit farther out, right? And there we go. There's our weekly chart. So you can see we're moving sideways in a consolidation here between 2086, and then a low about the 1600, right? Those are the good old days, right? And then I wrote the Gold Rush Blueprint. I said, look, longer the base, the higher the race, right? So basically, we took that, we have a rectangle consolidation like that, where there was basically accumulation, and then we had a higher low on, this was on October 2nd, 2023, right? And so now we have we had inflation worries. We're at like 9% inflation, right? And then gold is used as an inflation hedge, and then we broke out, and our breakout was February 2026, right? No, February 2024, February 26, 2024. We have a breakout, and from that breakout, it's been this just an onrush straight up, right? With small pullbacks along the way, which professionals and hedge fund managers are accumulating, and then we have another breakout. So we had a series of wedges that we love trading these wedges, right? And these are on the weekly chart, and we had and they're getting more aggressive where they're getting smaller, and then we had a small one there at the 4,000 level. And so we're looking at price target. Goldman Sachs had a price target as well of 5,000 by December 2026. I think we exceed that, but that is based on past performance, not indication of future results. But look right here, right? And I'll show you where I got in with just a going down to a day, and then I'll actually show you. Yeah, I mean, we had that consolidation right in here, the little flat consolidation in December. And so we had this little that consolidation. It doesn't look like much on a daily chart, but we're talking about 80 an $80 swing before the breakout, and then we're able to ride that breakout. And when we rode that breakout, we actually got a good piece of that, right? And so when we so this is this is on December 18th. And so this is where we trade like Aussie dollar, dollar yen, right? And then we had this explosive move. We got in like we usually trade Asia session, which is like 7 p.m. Eastern time. So I got in this trade like 8 o'clock, and then was able to like get out um in about an hour, actually about 3 hours, right? And so we got that breakout from consolidation, right? And once we get the breakout, just like we saw that breakout way back when, right? We saw that breakout from these consolidation, these rectangle breakouts are very powerful. We have this consolidation, higher high, a higher low, a higher high, a higher low, and now it's an auction. It's a runaway auction, right? And so we were able to take advantage of that. So like no, so why is gold so why no like I said, this wasn't luck. It was a strategy, it was a discipline. I talked about it in my Gold Rush blueprint. That that's and you can get at the link there, but stay to the end, I'll give you a free copy of that. So what we did was we had a strategy, and you're going to have that same strategy in your hand, right? So why is gold so wild, and why is that good? So gold's volatility right now is being driven by geopolitical tensions, central bank policy, especially the Fed, and economic data shocks like CPI and jobs report, right? And all these cause bigger daily swings, which means that it's going to be an opportunity. Every swing is an opportunity, right? Just because when it goes down, it provides an opportunity, right? And how to navigate that. So most traders struggle with this because they don't have a plan, right? And so they don't have a plan. They chase the full range instead of a reasonable target, right? So even though you got these big ranges, all you need is it's like going to a buffet, an all-you-can-eat buffet, right? And you can have some crab and some shrimp or some mashed potatoes or some roast beef, right? But if you pile up your plate, right? Well, then, um, you just, you're gonna be a pig, right? So it's best to maybe just get a little bit of sample of each thing, right? Or get a little bit, right? Because the market is like really like it's like gathering money on the street that's blowing in a highway. Think of this highway, and you're picking up money, and you're running back in the middle of it, and cars are going by. The longer you stay out in the street, the more probability you'll become roadkill, right? You don't want to become roadkill because roadkill, you get killed, right? So it's very important not to end up, as roadkill, right? You just don't want to do that. So you want to trade with a plan, knowing that you would be able to get in and out of the market and not chase the market, right? You want the market to come to you on your terms, right? So you have to have your predetermined, Ri Sun Su, The Art of War. Every battle is won before it's ever fought. Think about it. You know when your entries are, you know where your exits are, right? If you're a fireman, you know how to, you gotta know your entries and exits before you go into the fire, right? So you want to know where to rescue anybody. So you're going into a burning building to grab pips. And you gotta know, you have to have a plan, right? You can't just willy-nilly looking at candles and thinking you're gonna get rich. So you want to So you want to just get a small portion of it, have a plan, and manage risk. And typical traders struggle because they FOMO into big moves, they don't manage risk, they chase the full range of the market, and they don't trade with a plan. So I'm not here to chase wild profits. I'm here to capture smart profits and protect my capital. Your job number one is capital preservation. And so that's the difference between being lucky and being consistent. So the Gold Rush strategy. Now, here's the key rule I follow. You want to target 25% of the average daily range. Why? It's realistic, it's repeatable, it limits risk. Sure, some days you could make, $100, capture $100, and some days you can capture $200. But realistically, you want to get that nice sweet spot in the middle. Just grab a couple of, grab a hamburger, grab a couple of things off the menu, not overstay your welcome, right? Not stay in the markets too long or trying to squeeze, you know, more out of the market than the market is willing to give you, right? Some days you might get uh, a large amount of volatility. You might be able to capture a large part of the daily move, right? But if you try to go back there again and try to get that same move, then you're going to be sorely disappointed because not every day is the same, right? So, like for instance, this is I'm going to share um, this screen here. Here we go about daily volatility. Right. So this is the dollar CAD, but you can do this for anything. You do it for gold as well, right? In fact, I have the one for gold, XAUUSD, and there it is. Okay, so this is for gold, and you can see that the volatility changes day out. Mondays are lighter, Tuesdays are a little bit heavier, right? But Thursday and Friday are the sweet spots where gold really moves, right? But if you're trying to grab, you know, maximum range that you got here on Friday, you're gonna fall short. Your profit targets are gonna be too big. Have you ever placed a take profit and had it miss your take profit? And you're like, well, you were too greedy, whatever not. Well, the thing about it is that it changes day after day. As you look at this chart, the dark colors, you're going to have bigger ranges, and on the lighter colors, you're going to have smaller ranges, right? And if you want this, let me know in the chat box, and I can send you a copy of this. Um, but this is a powerful tool to know, how much of the market can you actually get. But to keep a rule of thumb, just go for 25%. And that way you are not overstaying your welcome, right? You're not, in the market, bulls get fed, bears get fed, but pigs get slaughtered, right? And so again, by shooting for this 25% of your average daily range, it's realistic, it's repeatable, it limits risk, allows compounding over time, right? And it's consistent. It's something that you can look at day after day and like, okay, I'm going in. This is my job. Like I turn on my computer at 7 p.m. Eastern time. I scan the markets and see what's going on overnight, what happened in the U.S. session, any news coming up. I check my market heat map, and then I go ahead and jump into the charts, look for the strongest trends, and I'm trading gold. I'm a gold specialist, and I just trade gold, right? So I'm like KFC, like Kentucky Fried Chicken. The Colonel, he just does chicken, and I focus on gold. So the Gold Rush Blueprint, is going to be your free guide to trading gold like a pro. Normally we charge like $21 for that. But if you're on this call and you go ahead and message me, DM me on School or you can email me at greg@elitetradersu.com and I'll send you a copy of it. And what I've done, I've taken everything I do, setups, rules, entry criteria, risk management techniques, target zones, and daily range strategies, and I pack them into one step-by-step blueprint, right? So this guy will teach you how to identify tradable gold setups, how to define entry and exits, where to place stops, and how to manage risk properly, and how to determine profit targets based on daily range and more, right? So how to get your blueprint, right? What you want to do is you can go ahead and message me. Um, you can send me an email, greg@elitetradersu.com. And again, that's Greg at elitetradersu, the letter U.com. And I'll go ahead and get that out to you, right? Now, again, let me show you a couple of, a couple of students. Jay Lee is one of our top student traders. He traded with me during our VIP Asia trading session. We do a live session 3 days a week. We were stopped for the holidays, but we are going to resume it in January 13th, I believe. Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, 2 hours with me, looking over my shoulder, trading along with me during the Asia session. And I trade the Asia session because for US people, I don't want to get up at, I'm getting up for you guys because it's 9:30 here in Las Vegas on the West Coast, right? And ordinarily I'm asleep because I did trade last night, but I do the coffee hours because it's noon. And so I know people on their lunch break on the East Coast and maybe Central Time, it's going to be like 10, right? So I got up a little early for you guys, but I don't normally get up this early, okay, to trade. I trade at night right after if let's say you're working from 9 to 5, you get off from work, you talk to your wife and your kids, you drive after you drive home, right? Talk to your wife and kids, and then you have some, and then you have some dinner, right? And then you take a shower or whatever not, and instead of like plopping on the couch and watching Netflix, or jumping into a car and doing DoorDash for some extra cash, you can sit in the comfort of your home with your laptop and Wi-Fi, look over my shoulder and trade along with me. And I have an incredible trading record. And guess what? You're trading for 2 hours. You're doing, 2 hours of trading from seven to nine, right? Seven to nine, and you're just doing this wonderful trading where you just don't have to, you have to stress yourself out. In fact, I'm just going to show you a couple of things that my students had done, did fantastic. Jay Lee, making like $300, $400 a night, which is more than the subscription, right? And here we go. Share screen too. Okay. Share. Okay. So these are all trades during the MT4 time says 2 a.m. Don't get, oh, Greg, you said 7 p.m. I got, that's 2:09. That's we got MT4 time. And we can see that just using 0.05 lots, he's making like, okay, 250, but look how fast he's doing it, right? It's 250, $4.50, 350, 1550, 1550, $10 here, $11 here. Given I'm trading a larger account and I'm pulling out like 1,000, where he's pulling out $11, but 2 hours and you're just pulling out, a lot of people don't make $11 an hour, right? And here's okay, look at this, 303. You got into a trade 303, right? And got out at 303.21. So got out in 21 seconds and made $58.50 in 21 seconds, right? Now, I'm not saying that all trades will be that fast, but you can see 306, 306.38 for in 23 seconds. I made $31.50, right? And then, 311.58, 312. So like a minute, he made 42.50. So, I mean, I can just read that, go down the line and thing like that. But, again, a lot of people don't like trading Asia. They say Asia's slow and Asia's this, but we have a way of going into smaller time frames and finding all kinds of trading opportunities. And I used to work for one of the largest forex broker dealers in the world. So there are techniques and secrets and things that we use that professionals use because I'm a professional, right? I work for I work for a brokerage house, right? So anyway, this is, past performance not indicative of future results, but this is Jay Lee. Maybe see if it's in his collection. Oh no, there it is. Okay, no, so I don't. Okay, I want to get out of here, right? Right, but there are see our collections. Yeah, Jay Lee. Okay, so and Jay Lee's been kind enough to share his results with me, and I usually screenshot them. And so this was 3 days ago. Okay, we got that one. And then the next one here, yeah, it was taking a little bit longer to load. But you're making $300, $400 a night, 3 nights a week, $1,000 a week. Hey, any trades on his own as well. But it's a really good to be able. So he made 630 this other night. This is December 12th or December 11th, right? 12/11. And again, using small lots, 0.5, half a contract size, right? And he was able to make $630, right, in his trades. So that's what there's this thing an extra $630 in a night, that keeps you off, keeps you out of DoorDash, keeps you or Grubhub or whatever you're doing, or Uber, right? And you're doing it under with comfort of your home, and the subscription is pretty good. We're having a sale on that subscription, $97 a month. If you prepay, it drops a little bit too. So if you buy 6 months, you do 6 months. Uh, do half a year, and then it's just $500. But anyway, we're gonna wrap things up here. I want to, again, we can see some blueprints in real time. We could do. See, I even we get templates with the blueprint, and let's see if I can find one here. The Gold Rush blueprint. There's one strategy we have called the King Midas. But where is our Gold Rush? Gold Rush. Let's see, GOL. Gold Rush Blueprint. Okay. Right, there we go. Right. Wow. Wow, it's we should have it on gold, right? So yeah. So you get the link to our template, and our template basically shows you, buy, sell, buy, sell. It's pretty straightforward, guys. Yeah, and so we can see that right now we are in we're in a sell, and we just wait for our new signal, and then that's what we would do. We use a two time frame approach, a dual time frame approach that allows us to look at the trade in the direction of the trend. The trend is up, and we wait for it to line up over here, right? Green is up, red is down. Pretty simple stuff, right? So anyway, I hope this was helpful, useful. I am sharing. Oh, I'm not even sharing, right? Share screen too. There we go. You even see what I was doing, right? Right. So there we go. We got a candle there. Right, and then so we have green is up, red is down, and this is for gold. You can use it for other currencies too, but we like using it on gold. Okay. So anyway, if you're interested, right, and if you want to understand gold like a pro and start capturing real profits instead of guessing, the Gold Rush Blueprint is your first step. And go ahead and send me an email at greg@elitetradersu.com for your free PDF, and let's get you trading smarter. Okay. All right. So we're gonna wrap things up a little bit early. I'm gonna check. I'm gonna check YouTube and check if there are any questions from our people from school and see if there's anyone there. Sean is here. Hey, Sean, how you doing, brother? Love seeing you in the room, right? And there's our gold, right? You trade gold? And let's go ahead. Positions and orders, profit and loss values. Uh, there we go. We're up 1,200 bucks. Take it. Boom. There we go. Right? That easy, right? Oh, oh, we weren't sharing that, right? Oh, I entered the trade here and exited just now. Color change, and we made some money, right? And Sean says yes. Okay, awesome, awesome, awesome. So, any questions? I'm going to open up, last couple of minutes. We'll take some any questions from our audience. Any questions? Okay, there's if there aren't any questions, what we're gonna do is we'll sign off. And I'll show you a trade maybe. I don't know if you can see that right. All right, let's see if we can score a quick trade to show you how wonderful this system is, right? See if we can get into the money. We got in little small body inside day. Got an uptrend on the our higher time frame charts for 5 minute. See if we can hit that target. Oof. That won't work. Okay. Do this. I'm trying to pop this in the. What? You want to take our survey? Okay. Well, let's see. Let's go.
Bye, bye, bye!
Okay. 4,351.69. See if we can get a push above that area in the next couple of minutes. See if let's see if there's any questions. There we go. There we go. $100, $200, $400. Let's go, let's go, let's go. We get paid. $1,000, baby. Got paid. I know, I know. Okay, guys. Well, we did a demonstration of the Gold Rush blueprint and showed you how it worked. And so if you want to find out more, reach out. Dr. Greg signing out. Cheers. Peace and pips. Oh, Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.